I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, June the 9th, brought to you in part by VitaFerm by Biozyme, the best mineral that money can buy. Last time I was up there in St. Joe and visited with VitaFerm, I had the opportunity to tour the laboratories where they make the Amaferm, and very impressive. I tell you what, guys, and they package a lot of that Amaferm up and send it to smaller mineral makers because they don't have the wherewithal to make that product, but definitely works. And if you guys want to learn more about it and all the products that VitaFerm has, go to biozyme.com. Your Packers current. Now you're saying, which end are they current on? Are they current on the amount of product that they have to ship out the back, or the cattle that they're buying? And likely both. With JBS shut down, some of the other ones having to pick up the slack there on selling out to the wholesalers, they really started to step up the slaughter this week, and likely going to run close to 650,000 head for the week, which we need that every week to kind of keep this deal rolling, or get it rolling again, I should say. But I heard several guys this week so far telling me that they had sold cattle to packers with time on them, 2 or 3 weeks out, and they're calling for them right away. Last week bought cattle on a Wednesday, they end up shipping them on a Friday, things like that. So they're getting shorter bought all the time, and you think, well, how in the world could that be? Well, we haven't had much negotiated trade here for the last several weeks, and yes, they're getting a lot of grid and formula sales there, but they still need negotiated trade to pick up the slack. And whenever you're running 60 or 70,000 instead of just over 100,000, that makes a difference. And so, with Packers being current, it puts your cattle people in a whole lot better shape as far as on leverage, and we may be able to start leveraging some trade at some point instead of just going with the charity bids that we've already started going with again this week. And also with your Packers being current with their product going out the back door, that could make them come in and be a little bit more aggressive on buying some cattle. But the drought conditions in the Great Northwest and up in the Northern Plains, they're getting very severe, and it was hurt more and made worse by the heat wave that just passed through there. It's one thing to be awfully dry when it's 80 degrees. It's another thing when it's 95 to 100. But and that's temperatures they're not used to getting this time of year. But seeing a lot of stories about massive cow sales. Some little auctions up there in North Dakota, places in eastern Montana, and western South Dakota, places like that normally are running every other week by now, and they're just maybe selling a few weigh cows and things like that, maybe 200 to 300. They're selling over 1,000 weigh-up cows, and having big strings of pairs and things come to town, which we hate to see, but guys have no option other than to get rid of some stock whenever they don't have enough grass to support them, and then likely they're not going to be able to cut as much hay. That's going to put them into a big bind when they get close to the fall, heading into the winter. But that's really getting to be a rough deal. And if you guys want some lightweights, I said on our last visit, they're selling some of their calves that don't sell till fall. Usually if you're looking for some lightweights with a lot of quality, or if you have a place, there's a lot of places that are wet, guys. If you got a place to turn out some kind of running age pairs or bred cows, get an order up there to those guys. Places like Rugby, North Dakota, places like St. Ann, South Dakota, up there in the Great Northwest. Get some orders in there to those guys and help them out a little bit, and help yourself at the same time. Something else that's still going on, we've been seeing a lot of things happen in DC, trying to get some more investigations, some changes in the way that our fed cattle system is working. We saw a letter from the House of Representatives addressed to Attorney General Merrick Garland there, dated June the 8th. So that's pretty current, guys. And it goes right on the heels of that Round Smith letter, the cattle letter that they sent here just a week or two ago. Got a lot of people to sign on to that. But this letter from the House of Representatives was all about the civil investigative demands that were sent to DOJ on May the 22nd of 2020. So, you know, working over a year now on that, on the four packers, you know, in their monopolistic ways, and how the box beef cutout values don't have any correlation with what your fat cattle are doing, and you know, collusion, different things like that. But we, you know, remember they called for the investigation, and the DOJ was supposed to be involved, not just the toothless P&S, but DOJ. We never have seen the results of that. We saw a little peek of it, and whenever USDA said, you know, you guys have to fix this yourself. You know, we can't fix everything for you. We can help you out. We can maybe let you guys adjust this mandatory price reporting, where you can use it to oversee and enforce some rules. If you guys could get some rules on minimum negotiated cash trade. But you guys have to fix this yourself. You got into it yourself, and you got to fix it yourself. And little guys are saying, hey, I never got into this, but you know, your large corporate feeders climbed in bed with the packers, you know, 20, 30 years ago, and we knew the results weren't going to be good. We're there. And so if unless we're just going to make this industry where it has fewer and fewer and fewer players in it, then we've got to do something. But that letter that was sent from House of Representatives had 52 signatures on it from representatives all over this country. That's pretty significant, guys. And you know, that many signatures on there, that wasn't just you know, a partisan deal, or it wasn't just one part of the country. It was all over. And speaking of signatures, we've got less than a month here to get this the petition out to try to get a referendum on your beef checkoff. And I know you guys said, well, I'll sign it. It takes about 2 minutes. And if you guys can't figure it out, get your grandkids to help you. And you sale barns that support getting a referendum on there. And I'm not saying if you just want to get rid of it, but you just want to bring it up for a vote and see what the results of the vote are, to bring more attention to the problems we've got in this industry. All it takes is a signature to help get the referendum started. And so, you know, and I've talked to some sale barns. My friend Jack Payne out there in Nevada Livestock Marketing in Fallon, Nevada, they've got a deal set up right there in the restaurant, in the sale barn, and they've got a girl there that will help producers sign that petition. And I encourage more sale barns to do that. Some of your older producers, you know, it may not sound as easy for them to go to checkoffvote.com and just fill out a few lines. And then it might scare them a little bit, where it's asks if you're a robot, but you know how you have to type in the letters that it's got, you know, that are kind of distorted. But that's what you got to do. And we're running behind on signatures. We don't know how many hard copy signatures we've got now, but we don't have near enough online signatures. And I don't understand why we can't get 88,000 of them to qualify to sign a petition. All you've had to do is buy one, sell one, or own one in the last year, and you can do it. It doesn't have an age limit on it. You can be as old as you want to be, or as young as you want to be. If you're under 18, you have to be co-signed by a parent. But there's a lot of kids out there that are younger than 18 that have owned cattle in the last year. So get on there and sign that thing. Let's just bring up the referendum. Everybody thinks referendum means kill. It doesn't. The referendum is the vote to see what we're going to do, but having the referendum would be another chance for us to draw attention to the problems in our industry. So I think it would be a good deal just to have the referendum. Let's talk about your board. On Tuesday, June live cattle futures up 50 cents at 116.72, so kind of took back what they lost there on Monday. August up a nickel at 117.82. You go out front there, and it was down 30 cents which was on your last traded month, which it was the only one that was up on Monday, all the way to up 60 cents. So just kind of jostling right in there, not really sure what's the way the board wants to go, but it's not doing a whole lot. August feeder cattle down 95 cents at 149 and a quarter. September was down 67 at 151.95, and that's because grains continue to creep higher. But you go on the back months of your feeder cattle, they were down 115, which that was the farthest out month that's traded, and it was up on Monday. So it was down 115 all the way to up 37 cents. But talking about the grains, your corn, new crop December corn was up 6 3/4 cents per bushel on Tuesday at 609.5 to end the day. The emergence on the report that come out Monday afternoon said that we're up 3% on the corn that's popped up out of the ground than we were last year, and up 8% over the 5-year average. Not sure what the problem is, if they are afraid that it's going to continue to get more dry and that dryness is going to move from west across the bulk of your corn belt or what. But so far, your crop's kind of doing all it can do, or more than what it normally does. Beans, new crop November up 17 cents at 14.57 per bushel. The emergence there is 11% over last year and 17% over the 5-year average. So other than just we're kind of low on stocks right now because we sold so much of it cheap to China earlier in the year. Your crop's kind of doing all it can do right now. Talk about your fat cattle trade, and we did establish the market on Tuesday early in the week. Your packers need cattle or they wouldn't come out looking for them on a Monday or a Tuesday. Didn't trade anything on Monday. But Tuesday we have started our trade, especially in the northern areas, and it's right along steady with the same charity bids we've been working with the last 2 or 3 weeks. Iowa 6,600 head were confirmed on Tuesday from 119 to 121. Dress sales from 188 to 193, mostly 190 to 193. Nebraska 9,800 head confirmed on Tuesday from 120 to 120 and a half. Dress sales 189 to 193. Kansas just 1,700 head there, 119 live and 191 dressed. Texas hasn't started selling anything yet. Colorado is all confidential, so they're not having enough play up there, and that's some of the things we need to work on with mandatory price reporting, is get more information coming through those filters. Box beef cutout values are kind of backing up, especially on select here, as we're nearing the end of our early summer holidays, grilling holidays, after we get past Father's Day here pretty quick. But then we're looking forward to 4th of July, and Biden told us we could have a small group, if we go and get vaccinated and everything. Very excited about that, because I know you guys haven't been in any crowded sale barns or crowded bars. And on that note, if you guys go to Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee, it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's filled with people that's been locked in a cage, and they've busted out, and then they don't know how to act. And it's wild. I mean, I like a good time as much as anybody, but it is wild in Nashville on Broadway there, and nobody's got a mask on, and most of the young kids have got their tongue down each other's throats. But box beef cutout values on Tuesday afternoon, choice cuts 338.61, up a penny a hundredweight, so steady there. Selects 306.18, down 2.99. So that's the second day in a row your select cuts have been down significantly. Your slaughter, like I told you earlier, they're really wanting to crank that up, and that's good. 120,000 estimated on Tuesday, and that's a pretty good clip. After we had a pretty good clip on Monday, we need to keep rolling with these. We need to get up there 115 to 120,000 every day, and then have a good Saturday to boot to get us where we need to go. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DV auction late in the day on Tuesday at 137.76. That was up 66 cents. You see your CME cash feeder cattle index running out there in front now, running over $1.40. That happened late last week, or it happened on Monday after late last week, whenever they dropped all those unverified direct sales on there. But likely a lot of those were tied to a futures market out front, and we've been working with a big premium on our out front feeder cattle futures there, but that's why you see the disparities there. And our auctions are starting to run a little bit more sporadic. We got a couple more weeks of pretty good sales, and then we get to that midsummer break, 4th of July. All your sales will be closed at least 1 week, and most of them 2 weeks. And then after that, it's going to be pretty spotty until we start seeing our late summer yearlings come on. But look at your sales on Tuesday. Ozarks Regional Stockyard, West Plains, Missouri, 3,500 head in the ring. They had another in-house video. They do it every week, guys. It's easy for them to do it. They do it right through DV Auction. Take some video with their cell phone, email it in there. We get it all set up. They just quit running the cattle through the ring for a little bit and click on those links. Shows the people in the ring or in the sales arena what's going on the TVs that they put up, and shows everybody watching online on dvauction.com. Then they open the bidding up, and man, they've been getting along really good with it. At West Plains, your feeders sold $2 to $4 higher. Calves steady to $3 higher. Some of your other big sales on Tuesday. Kimball Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota. It's the only place you'll see this market report unless they paid for it. 4,800 head in Kimball. Look at this automated market report through Cattle Market Central. Look at some of your best tested weights. 633 head of 8-weight steers averaged 836 at 140.85. 603 head of 9-weight steers averaged 943 at 131.42. Both big time quotes. How about some big heifers? 656 head of 8-weight heifers averaged 848 at 129.52. Some more individual quotes around the circuit. Miles City Livestock Commission, Miles City, Montana. That's one of those dry spots, guys. But you talk about some condition on some stalker type calves there. 98 head, 609 pound steers bring $170. Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma. For once, in a lifetime, the Oklahoma Panhandle is not horrible dry. It looks pretty good, and they've had some good rains come across there. Beaver there is on the eastern part of the Oklahoma Panhandle, but right there in no man's land. But man, they had a heck of a good sale there. Still got cattle coming in off rank wheat there that's been so wet that it stayed a little bit softer. But 58 head, 924 pound steers in Beaver, Oklahoma bring $138.50. But the best quote that I saw anywhere on Tuesday, your Zach Tran top quote for the day, come out of Kimball Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota. 70 head, 797 pound steers, or same as 800 pounds, $152.30. That's your feeder flash for Wednesday.